Hi guys, welcome along to another edition of the Regency Renovation project. So in this episode we are going to be showing you a general walk around of the property. We're also going to be showing you some of the floors going down, the work that's been done in the kitchen on the chimney breast and one of the walls as well, and also some of the work going on in the bathroom. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. What I'm going to do now is just take you for a little walk through, see what's happened in the week I've been away. So let's go inside. So into the entrance hallway, got our flue turned up here. That's going to be used for the Aga. Walk through room by room. So the fireplace, there's been some drastic work happened to that.
That metal back box they put in,
Yeah.
it's been taken out.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it's going to be re-rendered back to its original condition, which is the same as that one over there.
Same as the one here. Take a look. So it will look like that. We've obviously got to restore these doors, these sliding doors. You've seen Tony talk about these before, so I won't go into too much detail on them. So this is the kitchen and it is looking big and beautiful. So that stud wall which was there has been taken out. We've kept the original coving in. We've fixed the top plate of the stud up to the joist upstairs, and then obviously infilled all this so we can plasterboard over that then and then skim that in, and that will be a nice little feature in the middle there. All that's got to happen in here, we've got to do a bit of fixing up around here. The floor underneath has been reinforced because this is where the Aga is going to go. We've got to bore out a hole here through into the chimney breast, which will take the flue for the Aga. We've also got a bit of remedial work to do on the floor. We're going to repair these shutters as well. If you remember from our original walkthrough, they're slightly damaged. We want to sort out the mechanisms and the hinges. Take these modern curtain rails down over there because they won't be reinstated. The island will go here. There's going to be some units which will go across here, and they're actually going to be full height units as well. And then, like I said, the Aga is going to go here, and there'll be some units here and over there as well. Let's move on to the next room, see what else has happened. So, a bit of drastic work has happened in here. We've had kill rot in. They've assessed a lot of the joists, and unfortunately there's a hell of a lot of woodworm in these, and these joists were literally ready to fall apart. So they've all been taken out and reinstated with new timbers because they were very dangerous. There's a couple that have managed to be saved. They've all been treated, all sprayed, so they're good to go. This room is the utility, and that room was the toilet. And if you remember from the original walkthrough, what we're going to do is actually move that wall just slightly out this way. So it was right up to here, but now it's going to be moved to here just to give us that little bit of extra space in the toilet because it was quite cramped in there before. And then this will be reinstated as a utility room. This was actually a bathroom, if you remember. Ollie is just in the process of getting the floor down, so it's nice and safe to work in there. And then we can start getting some stud work up and carry on with that. So in here, this will be the morning room. So like you can see, we've had to replace them joists up there as well. You saw my time lapse of that earlier because they were rotten, so they've all had to be replaced. Does mean we're going to obviously have to do some repair work on the ceiling and with the coving as well, but we're going to get some more of this coving run so we can continue that detail around here. Obviously we don't just want the coving to stop or to put anything else up, so we'll get exact replicas made of that. I think Jamie just wants to be on the video. All right, Jay, so what are you doing out here, mate?
I'm literally just breaking up this concrete because all this metal is starting to rot and it's not very safe.
It does look pretty corroded, doesn't it?
So we're just going to have a balcony with railings.
It's going to be, is it a Juliet here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting rid of this completely. Yeah, you can see it doesn't look very safe as it is, does it?
Carry on getting this concrete out, put this metal on and give it a good clean up.
Cool. Well, we found this lovely oak beam in here. As you can see, they've put arch brickwork in there. They've even got the bark still on that. That is awesome. So I think above it, there's no cracking whatsoever. All the brickwork is still absolutely solid. We're actually going to leave that in. We'll do something better with these little bits of timber on here, but apart from that, that is going to stay. We've got to sort something out with the brickwork in here because what you can see there is actually the step of the half landing up here. So it needs to be shored up because this has literally just been dry packed. There's no muck in between there. This has been altered at some stage and everything is just sort of squashed together. There's just a pile of bricks here which are holding this little wooden lintel, and same down here. Nothing's even tied in properly, so we're going to have to definitely do some remedial work with that just to make sure that is totally safe. Let's have a look upstairs. So, like we saw before, Mark's put those plates in over there. So the plates are in, the waste pipe's in, the soil pipe's in, that's all good. Mark's had to put these fairing strips on here just to level these out because they were running downhill slightly. I believe he took a time lapse of that as well. So we can watch that now. In here, obviously the floor needs to be plied next. The plumbers have still got a lot of first fixing to do in this and, well, all the bathrooms to be honest. So once they move forward with that, we can then continue and start to get everything covered up and putting stuff back together. So I'm currently knocking the plaster off this chimney stack here because, like I've mentioned, the Arga's going to go here. We just held a straight edge up to the wall and noticed there was a massive belly. Because there was a stud work here before and there's been some damp issues coming through the wall, it's previously been rendered, and when they've done it, they obviously haven't been able to match up to this because there's been a stud wall in the middle, and they actually ramped it up quite severely. So it was actually kicking out quite a lot, which has meant that we had to cut some of this back just to make sure that when the Arga sits back in there, it sits nice and flush back to the wall. There was a vent there, and we've actually inspected a bit further inside, and let me get my light out. What you can see in here is all this dust and debris that's in there. Well, it's not dust, it's all sorts of bits, bricks, rubble, and what that's actually doing is causing a bridge. So any damp that's transferring from the outside wall is transferring straight through into this wall, and that is what's causing the damp issue. That, and obviously the fact that the caps were blocked off completely upstairs on the top of the chimney stack. So we're gonna have to remedy that. We've obviously opened up the top now so that can breathe properly, and we're gonna have to get in there somehow and try and get some of this stuff out, because all we're gonna be doing otherwise is covering up the problem. So we've had to remove a lot of the bricks. This was very full with a load of rubble and dust and all sorts of stuff. Also, it's collapsed down here. I don't really wanna push, but you can see there is a lot of collapsed bricks down here. So what we're going to do is actually put a lintel in across here and then rebuild this back up and then replaster across there. So it will be good as new, and then the Arga can be fitted in as is needed. So the chimney breast is complete. What we've done is we've put these beads in, which was an original detail, you can see it there. We actually used some of the timber which was in the stud wall, which was here if you remember. Phil used that timber, stripped that down, and then actually made this by hand basically. This is all handcrafted, so this matches the detail perfectly up there. It has been plasterboarded and skimmed. The reason being, rather than using traditional lime plaster, is that we're going to need to do a lot of remedial work on this wall. There's various things going on here, so we needed to make sure that it was easily repairable. So it made sense to actually do this out of plasterboard rather than lime plaster. So that is the reason that we've actually used plasterboard on this wall. Phil's just getting this area prepped here. There are going to be floor to ceiling units that are going to go across here. There's not actually a lot of work that needs doing on there, but we're just doing a bit of preparation ready for the decorators. We've also got a batten across here and plasterboard this and then get that skimmed in because we need to make this a nice little detail here. So obviously we've got to cover that top plate of these stood up. And now I'm just going to get these floorboards. We just had to do a bit of repair work around here where the argers go in. We've had to strengthen some of the joists up underneath because obviously the argers weigh quite a lot, so we don't want any collapses there, so they've all been reinforced. So now just going to get these floorboards down. What we're using is what they would have used originally, which are these brad nails. There we go. So they're just a flat profile with a clasp on top, and then yeah, we just literally pre-drill so we don't split the boards, nail those in, and then just countersink them in. And then I'm just going to use a belt sander quickly as well, just to whip over these, because some of them are slightly different thicknesses, and when the floor sander guy comes, it will just make his life a lot easier. Next up, we're moving over to here. So Phil's just taken all these beads off because this was in a bit of a sorry state. So we get all the beads replenished, get all this sanded back to its former glory. I'm just currently working on these shutters, just taking the furniture off because they're a bit stiff. I've took one off here, really nice old bit of furniture there. Look at that mechanism. Beautiful. Simplicity, but it works. So I'll get these nice and cleaned up because they don't work, like I say. This one here especially is really stiff to turn. So I'll get that one off and get that cleaned up. Also needs a bit of fine tuning as well because it doesn't go in very well. So we'll sort all that out. So guys, that was it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, as usual, please like, comment and subscribe. You've been watching me and the guys from A&E. Until next time, stay safe.